In the vast, untamed heart of the Texas plains, there roamed a horse named Thunder, a creature so wild that no one could tame him. 3 owners had tried, only to bow out in defeat. Yet, when Thunder found himself before a humble statue of the Virgin Mary, something miraculous stirred. Was this divine intervention, or the profound power of faith at play? Before we journey further into this narrative of faith and transformation, pause for a moment. Where are you in this world, and what time does it mark for you? It's remarkable how stories like these bind us together, transcending the boundaries of geography and time. Now, let me introduce you to Jake, a man forged by the land he reveres as his own. 50 years of sunrises and sunsets have etched lines of both toil and wisdom across his face. Yet beneath the rugged exterior lies a heart receptive to the mysteries that life whispers, even those beyond his comprehension. Jake inherited his ranch from his father, along with an innate understanding of horses and the land they tread upon. Each day, he rises with the dawn, a steaming cup of strong coffee in hand, ready to embrace whatever challenges await, guided by a simple cowboy code. Work hard, speak the truth, and never turn away from a challenge. When word of Thunder reached Jake, a familiar spark of determination ignited within him. Despite the horse's tempestuous reputation, Jake believed that with patience and understanding, even the wildest spirit could be reached. His neighbor, Bill, had been the latest to attempt the impossible and had failed. Frustrated and weary, Bill reached out to Jake with a proposition. "Jake, this horse is more trouble than he's worth," Bill admitted over the phone. "But you have a way with the tough ones. Would you give it a shot?" Jake paused, gazing out as the golden hues of the sun spilled over the horizon, painting the landscape in a warm glow. The challenge resonated within him, and he found himself unable to resist. "Send him over," he replied with quiet resolve. When Thunder arrived, the ranch hands gathered, their hushed voices carrying tales of the horse's wild nature. Jake stood by the corral, his gaze fixed on Thunder's wary eyes and taut muscles. He recognized the fear that lay beneath the surface and understood the long road that lay ahead. Yet, Jake was ready to embark on this journey of trust and transformation, guided by the enduring lessons his father had instilled in him. As Jake commenced his gentle approach with Thunder, a narrative of patience and quiet miracles unfurled. Join me as we delve deeper into this extraordinary tale, where faith and understanding illuminate the mysterious paths through which lives can be irrevocably transformed. As the first light of dawn broke across the rolling hills, Jake stood silently by the corral. His breath formed small clouds in the crisp morning air, and his eyes remained fixed on Thunder, who paced restlessly within the enclosure. The horse's dark coat glistened under the early sun, a testament to both his wild spirit and the untamed beauty that seemed to pulse beneath his skin. Jake didn't rush. He understood that trust, like faith, was not something to be coerced but gently nurtured. He recalled the words of his father, who had taught him that the most profound connections in life were forged through patience and love. "The Lord works in whispers, not shouts," his father used to say, a sentiment that seemed to echo in the quiet rustle of the wind and the soft murmur of the world waking up around him. Each day, Jake returned to the corral, his presence a constant yet unobtrusive invitation for Thunder to engage. He would sit on the fence, sometimes reading aloud a passage from the Bible or a story that spoke of courage and redemption. Other times, he simply sat in silence, allowing the tranquility of the moment to envelop them both. He never reached out too quickly, never sought to impose his will. Instead, he offered his presence as a steadying force, a gentle reminder that he was there, waiting patiently for thunder to come to him. Over the weeks, the transformation was subtle yet profound. Thunder's eyes began to soften, his movements less erratic. There were moments when the horse would pause in his pacing, looking directly at Jake with an expression that seemed to question and ponder in equal measure. It was during these moments that Jake felt a flicker of connection, a silent communion that transcended words and bridged the gap between man and beast. Trust is like a seed, Jake mused aloud one afternoon, as he watched Thunder graze quietly near the edge of the corral. It doesn't blossom overnight, but with care and time, it grows into something beautiful. He thought of the parable of the mustard seed, how faith, even in the smallest measure, could move mountains. In this small act of patience and presence, he sensed the stirring of something sacred, a testament to the power of perseverance and gentle persistence. Jake's days were marked by small victories. A step closer here, a moment of stillness there. Thunder's curiosity began to overshadow his fear, and Jake could see the horse's wild spirit slowly yielding to a budding trust. It was as if each encounter, each quiet interaction, was a step along a path that led to understanding and acceptance. One cool evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky with hues of orange and purple, Jake stood at the fence, whispering softly to Thunder. "You know, buddy, even when we don't understand the path we're on, there's always a guiding hand leading us. Just like you and me, we're finding our way together." He was reminded of the journey of faith, the way it required a leap into the unknown, trusting that God's hand would guide and support. The bond forming between him and Thunder mirrored the spiritual journey, a testament to the power of trust, faith, and the quiet strength that lay within both. As days turned into weeks, the ranch hands began to notice the change. "You've got away with him, Jake," one of them remarked, leaning against the weathered wood of the fence. "Never seen that horse so calm before." Jake smiled, his eyes still on Thunder. "It's not me," he replied humbly. "It's just patience and a little faith. Sometimes that's all it takes." The evenings brought an autumn chill, and the leaves rustled softly in the breeze. Jake found solace in these moments of quiet companionship, feeling the sacred rhythm of life as it unfolded before him. He knew that the journey with Thunder was far from over, but each day brought them closer to a shared understanding, a bond forged in faith and gentle persistence. Thunder, once a creature of defiance and fear, now stood closer to Jake than ever before, a testament to the transformation that could occur when trust was offered openly and without expectation. Jake found himself marveling at the horse's resilience, his willingness to step beyond his fear, mirroring the way in which faith could embolden the human spirit to face life's uncertain paths. As night descended, blanketing the ranch in a peaceful quiet, Jake whispered a silent prayer of gratitude. He thanked God for the lessons learned, for the opportunity to witness the quiet miracle unfolding before him. "Guide us both, Lord," he prayed, "as we continue on this path together." With each passing day, Jake understood more deeply the profound connection that could exist between man and beast, a reflection of the divine connection offered to all who sought it with sincerity and humility. As he prepared to leave the corral for the night, he felt a gentle nudge at his shoulder. Turning, he found Thunder standing beside him, his eyes soft and trusting. In that moment, Jake knew that their journey was only just beginning, a journey of trust, redemption, and the quiet whisper of faith that would guide them both through the days to come. As the first light of dawn began to chase away the shadows of night, Jake awoke to the soft, rhythmic sounds of the ranch coming to life. The morning air was crisp, filled with the scent of fresh hay and dew-kissed earth. As he made his way to the stables, he noticed a hush had settled over the ranch, a quiet anticipation that he couldn't quite place. Jake found Thunder already awake, his eyes reflecting the soft glow of the early morning sun. There was a calmness about the horse, a serene presence that seemed to draw Jake in. After their usual morning routine, Jake opened the gate, expecting Thunder to head to the open field as he often did. Instead, Thunder paused, his gaze fixed on something beyond the corral. Curious, Jake followed Thunder's line of sight to a path that led to a secluded part of the ranch. At the end of this path stood the grotto, a small, sacred space where a statue of the Virgin Mary watched over them all with gentle grace. The grotto was a place of quiet reflection, often visited by the ranch hands seeking solace or guidance. To Jake's surprise, Thunder began to walk deliberately toward the grotto, his movements steady and purposeful. Jake followed, a mix of curiosity and awe guiding his steps. The other ranch hands paused in their work, watching the unusual sight with a mixture of confusion and intrigue. As they approached the grotto, the air seemed to change, infused with a sense of peace and reverence. The statue of the Virgin Mary stood bathed in the soft morning light, her expression tender and compassionate. Thunder stopped a few feet away from the statue, lowering his head in what seemed like a gesture of respect. Jake stood beside his horse, feeling a profound sense of wonder. He couldn't explain why Thunder had been drawn here, but the sight of the powerful animal standing calmly before the statue spoke to something deep within him. It was as if Thunder sensed a presence beyond the physical world, a connection to something divine and mysterious. The ranch hands gathered at a respectful distance, whispering among themselves. Some crossed themselves, recognizing the sacredness of the moment. Others simply watched, their expressions reflecting a range of emotions from skepticism to awe. Jake felt a stirring in his soul, a whisper of faith that seemed to echo in his heart. He had always believed in the power of prayer, in the quiet miracles that touched everyday life, but this moment felt like a revelation. It was as if Thunder, in his silent way, was inviting them all to see beyond the ordinary, to acknowledge the presence of the divine in their midst. Kneeling beside Thunder, Jake bowed his head, offering a silent prayer to the Virgin Mary. "Mother of God," he whispered, "guide us in your wisdom and grace. Help us to see the path you have laid before us, and grant us the courage to follow it with faith." As he prayed, Jake felt a sense of peace envelop him, a quiet assurance that they were not alone on this journey. Thunder stood quietly beside him, his presence a comforting reminder of the bond they shared, a bond that transcended the earthly and touched the eternal. The moment stretched on, timeless and sacred. When Jake finally rose, he saw that the ranch hands had joined him in prayer, their heads bowed in silent reflection. It was a powerful sight, a testament to the unity and faith that bound them all together. Thunder lifted his head, his eyes meeting Jake's with a steady, trusting gaze. In that moment, Jake understood that their journey was indeed a spiritual one, guided by faith and the quiet whisper of the divine. The path ahead might be uncertain, but they would walk it together, trusting in the guidance of a higher power. The ranch hands slowly dispersed, returning to their tasks with a renewed sense of purpose. Jake and Thunder lingered a moment longer, savoring the peace that enveloped the grotto. As they walked back to the corral, Jake felt a deep sense of gratitude, knowing that this was only the beginning of a journey that would lead them deeper into the mysteries of faith and redemption. The rest of the day passed quietly, the events of the morning casting a gentle, sacred light over the ranch. Jake carried the memory of the grotto with him, a reminder of the power of faith and the potential for divine intervention in everyday life. As night fell and the ranch settled into a peaceful stillness, Jake once again found himself at the corral, Thunder by his side. The stars shone brightly above, a testament to the vastness and wonder of creation. Jake offered a silent prayer of thanks, grateful for the lessons learned and the journey unfolding before them. "Guide us, Lord," he prayed, his heart full of hope and faith. "May we always seek your presence in our lives, trusting in your wisdom and love." With a gentle nudge from Thunder, Jake knew that they were ready to face whatever lay ahead, united in their faith and the promise of redemption. As they stood together under the starlit sky, Jake felt a deep sense of peace, knowing that the quiet whisper of faith would guide them both through the days to come. Under the vast, starlit sky, the ranch was enveloped in a serene stillness, broken only by the occasional rustle of leaves or the distant call of a night bird. Jake stood by the corral, watching Thunder, the once wild stallion, now standing calmly by his side. The peace of the night seemed to mirror the growing peace within Thunder's spirit, a transformation that touched the hearts of all who witnessed it. Every morning, as the first light crept over the horizon, Jake and Thunder made their way to the grotto nestled at the edge of the ranch. The grotto, a humble shrine dedicated to Our Lady, had become a place of solace and reflection for Jake, a sacred space where he found strength and guidance for the journey he and Thunder were on. As Thunder's visits to the grotto became routine, something remarkable began to unfold. The horse, once known for his untamed spirit and fierce independence, started to change. His fiery eyes softened, and his movements became more measured and graceful. It was as if the very presence of the grotto, infused with years of prayers and faith, was working a quiet miracle within him. Jake approached Thunder with a gentle hand, whispering words of encouragement and gratitude. "You've come so far, my friend," he murmured, his voice filled with awe. "We both have." He reached out, running his fingers through Thunder's mane, which was now free of the tangles and burrs that had once marked his rebellious nature. The ranch hands, who had initially viewed Thunder with a mixture of fear and skepticism, began to see him in a new light. They gathered by the corral, watching with a sense of wonder as Jake gently introduced the saddle. It was a moment of trust between man and beast, a quiet testament to the power of patience and faith. "Would you look at that?" one of the ranch hands, Eli, remarked, his voice tinged with disbelief. "I never thought I'd see the day when Thunder would let anyone near him, let alone allow a saddle. It's like he's a different horse," another added, "almost like he's been touched by something greater." Jake overheard their conversation and smiled, his heart swelling with gratitude. He knew that Thunder's transformation was not merely the result of his own efforts. It was, in many ways, a manifestation of something divine, a gentle reminder of the miracles that faith could bring about. As Jake secured the saddle, Thunder stood still, his large, expressive eyes meeting Jake's with a depth of understanding that seemed almost human. It was as if Thunder, too, recognized the sacred journey they were on, a journey of healing and hope, guided by an unseen hand. With the saddle in place, Jake mounted Thunder, feeling the powerful muscles beneath him ripple with restrained energy. He took a deep breath, offering a silent prayer of thanks. "Guide us, Lord," he prayed, echoing the words that had become his mantra. "May your wisdom and love be our compass." As they rode around the corral, the other ranch hands watched in silence, their hearts touched by the quiet miracle unfolding before them. It was as if time stood still, and in that moment, the boundary between the earthly and the divine blurred, leaving only a profound sense of peace and wonder. Over the days that followed, Thunder's transformation continued to inspire those at the ranch. His once wild spirit, now tempered by trust and faith, became a symbol of hope and renewal, a living testament to the power of redemption. Jake, too, found himself changed by the experience, his own faith deepened by the journey he shared with the remarkable horse. The bond between Jake and Thunder grew stronger with each passing day. Together, they explored the rolling hills and open fields of the ranch, their rides becoming a time of reflection and connection with the divine. The ranch, with its sprawling pastures and clear, blue skies, seemed to pulse with a sacred energy, each moment a reminder of God's presence in their lives. As they rode one afternoon, the sun dipping low on the horizon, casting a golden glow over the landscape, Jake felt a deep sense of gratitude swell within him. He glanced down at Thunder, the stallion's ears perked forward, his gait smooth and confident. "Thank you," Jake whispered, both to Thunder and to the unseen force that had guided them to this point. Thunder snorted softly in response, as if acknowledging the words, and Jake couldn't help but smile. Their journey was far from over, but he knew that whatever lay ahead, they would face it together, united in faith and the shared promise of redemption. That evening, as the stars began to twinkle in the vast expanse above, Jake and Thunder returned to the grotto. The flickering candlelight cast gentle shadows on the stone walls, and the scent of fresh flowers filled the air, offerings left by those who sought solace and guidance from the Blessed Mother. Jake knelt by the grotto, his heart full of humility and hope. "Thank you, Lord, for the miracles you have worked in our lives," he prayed, his voice steady and sincere. "May we continue to walk in your light, trusting in your love and grace." Thunder stood nearby, his head bowed in a gesture that seemed almost reverent. It was a moment of profound connection, a reminder of the sacred journey they were on, a journey of transformation, trust, and divine grace. As they left the grotto, Jake felt a renewed sense of purpose, his heart light with the promise of the days to come. The quiet whisper of faith, like a gentle breeze, would guide them both through the challenges and triumphs that lay ahead, a constant reminder of the power of redemption and the miracles that faith could bring. And so, under the watchful gaze of the stars, Jake and Thunder continued their journey, their hearts united in a sacred bond of trust and hope, their spirits uplifted by the divine presence that had touched their lives in ways they could never have imagined. Under the soft, silvery glow of dawn, the ranch awoke to a symphony of chirping birds and rustling leaves. The air was crisp, carrying with it the scent of dew-kissed grass and the promise of a new beginning. Jake stood at the edge of the paddock, his gaze fixed on Thunder. The black stallion moved with a grace that seemed almost ethereal, his mane flowing like a dark river in the gentle breeze. Today was the day. Jake felt it in his bones, a quiet certainty that had been nurtured by weeks of patience and prayer. He had spent countless hours with Thunder, each moment a building block in the tower of trust they had constructed together. And now it was time to see if that tower could bear the weight of this new step. Father Michael, who had become a frequent visitor to the ranch, stood beside Jake. His presence was a comforting reminder of the spiritual journey they were on. "Are you ready, Jake?" he asked, his voice a steady anchor in the sea of anticipation. Jake nodded, a mixture of excitement and trepidation swirling within him. "I think we are. It's time to take that leap of faith." With a gentle nudge, Jake opened the paddock gate and entered, his movements calm and deliberate. Thunder watched him, his dark eyes deep and knowing, as if he understood the significance of this moment. Jake approached slowly, speaking in soothing tones that seemed to weave a tapestry of calm around them both. "Hey there, big guy," Jake murmured, reaching out to stroke Thunder's neck. The horse snorted softly, a plume of mist escaping into the morning air, but he remained still, his powerful body a testament to the trust they had built. Jake took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the moment settle over him like a sacred mantle. He had prepared for this day with care, ensuring that every step was guided by respect and understanding. The journey to this point had been one of faith and redemption, a testament to the power of patience and love. With a final whispered prayer, Jake swung himself onto Thunder's back. There was a moment of stillness, a heartbeat where time seemed to pause, holding its breath in anticipation. And then, Thunder moved. At first, it was a tentative step, a gentle testing of boundaries. But with each stride, confidence grew, and soon they were moving together in a harmonious rhythm. Jake could feel the strength beneath him, the raw power tempered by trust, and his heart soared with a joy that was almost divine. They rode through the open fields, the landscape unfurling before them like a canvas painted with the colors of hope and promise. The world around seemed to hold its breath, watching in awe as man and horse moved as one. The ride was more than just a physical journey. It was a spiritual odyssey, a metaphor for the path of faith they had chosen to walk. As they rode, Jake found his thoughts drifting to the lessons he had learned. The doubts and fears that once plagued him had given way to a profound peace, a deep-seated assurance that he was exactly where he was meant to be. It was a journey of transformation, a testament to the miracles that faith could bring. Father Michael watched from a distance, his heart full as he witnessed the culmination of Jake's journey. He had seen the struggles, the moments of doubt, and the triumphs that had led to this day. It was a reminder of the sacred bond that existed not just between man and horse, but between all of creation and the divine. The ride continued, each step a testament to the journey of faith. The world around them was alive with the beauty of creation, the whisper of the wind in the grass a hymn of praise to the Creator. Jake felt a deep sense of fulfillment, a peace that came from embracing faith, patience, and love. As they returned to the paddock, Jake's heart was light with gratitude. Thunder had carried him with a grace that was almost otherworldly, a testament to the trust they had forged together. The ride had been a revelation, a glimpse into the sacred dance of faith and trust. Dismounting, Jake whispered a prayer of thanks, his heart full of the joy of the journey. Thunder nuzzled him gently, a silent acknowledgement of the bond they shared. It was a moment of profound connection, a reminder of the power of redemption and the miracles that faith could bring. Father Michael approached, his eyes shining with pride and joy. "You did it, Jake. You and Thunder have shown us the beauty of faith in action." Jake smiled, his heart full. "It was all worth it. Every moment, every challenge. I know now that faith is more than just belief, it's a journey, a transformation." As the sun rose higher in the sky, casting its golden light over the fields, Jake and Thunder stood together, their spirits uplifted by the divine presence that had touched their lives. They had embarked on a journey of faith, and in doing so, discovered the true meaning of trust, redemption, and love. And as they looked toward the horizon, they knew that the journey was far from over. There were more challenges to face, more lessons to learn. But with each step, they would walk in the light of faith, guided by the gentle whisper of grace. Together, they would continue their sacred journey, their hearts united in trust and hope, their spirits renewed by the divine presence that guided their way. The ride of faith had begun, and with it, the promise of the days to come, a testament to the power of faith and the miracles it could bring. As the morning sun continued its ascent, painting the sky with hues of orange and pink, Jake found himself walking alongside Thunder towards the old grotto nestled at the edge of his ranch. The path was familiar, worn by years of footsteps, yet today it felt different, imbued with a sense of purpose and renewal. Jake's heart was lighter, his spirit buoyed by the transformation that had unfolded both within Thunder and himself. The grotto, a humble sanctuary of stone and moss, stood as a testament to the enduring power of faith. It had been a place of solace for Jake in times of doubt, a refuge where he could lay bare his burdens and seek the quiet counsel of the divine. Today, it felt as though the very air around the grotto crackled with the whisper of grace. Jake paused at the entrance, taking in the serene beauty of the place. The soft rustle of leaves and the gentle murmur of a nearby stream harmonized with the quietude of the morning. Thunder, his coat glistening in the early light, moved with a newfound grace, his eyes reflecting a peace that mirrored Jake's own heart. "Quite a sight, isn't it, boy?" Jake murmured, resting a hand on Thunder's neck. The horse nickered softly in response, as if acknowledging the sacredness of the moment. Word had spread quickly through the town about Thunder's transformation, a horse once wild and untamable, now calm and gentle, a living testament to the power of faith. People had begun to visit the ranch, drawn by the story of this miracle, eager to witness the change for themselves. Yet Jake knew that the true miracle lay not just in Thunder's transformation, but in the awakening that had stirred within his own soul. As they stepped into the grotto, Jake felt a wave of gratitude wash over him. He knelt beside Thunder, his eyes tracing the delicate patterns of light filtering through the leaves above. Here, in this sacred space, he allowed himself to reflect on the journey that had brought him to this moment. "Thank you," he whispered, the words carrying the weight of his heart. "Thank you for showing me the way." The transformation within Thunder had been a revelation, a catalyst that had opened Jake's heart to the mysteries of faith. It was as if a veil had been lifted, allowing him to see the divine in the everyday, the miracle of life unfolding in the simplest of moments. As he sat in quiet reflection, memories of the past few months flooded his mind. The struggles and doubts, the moments of despair when he had felt lost and alone. But through it all, there had been a guiding presence, a gentle nudge towards the path of redemption. Jake thought of Father Michael, whose unwavering faith and gentle guidance had been a beacon of hope. It was Father Michael who had encouraged him to open his heart, to seek the divine not in grand gestures, but in the small, quiet moments of grace. "Faith is a journey, Jake," Father Michael had once said, his eyes filled with wisdom. "It's about opening your heart to the possibility of the divine, even when you cannot see the way." Jake understood now what Father Michael had meant. Faith was not about certainty, but about trust, a trust that allowed him to embrace the unknown with an open heart. It was a journey of transformation, a path that led to a deeper understanding of himself and the world around him. As the sun climbed higher, casting its warm glow over the grotto, Jake felt a sense of peace settle within him. He had found a new beginning, a chance to live a life guided by faith and love. And in that moment, he realized that the greatest miracle was not just Thunder's change, but the change within himself. He glanced at Thunder, who stood beside him, his presence a comforting reminder of the journey they had undertaken together. "We've come a long way," "Haven't we, old friend?" Jake said, a smile playing at the corners of his lips. Thunder nuzzled Jake's shoulder, his breath warm and reassuring. It was a simple gesture, yet it spoke volumes, a testament to the bond they had forged, a bond rooted in trust and understanding. As they lingered in the grotto, Jake's thoughts turned to the future. There would be challenges ahead, moments of doubt and uncertainty. But he knew now that he was not alone. With each step, he would walk in the light of faith, guided by the gentle whisper of grace. And as Jake and Thunder made their way back to the ranch, the promise of this new beginning filled his heart with hope. The ride of faith had indeed begun, and with it, the promise of the days to come, a testament to the power of faith and the miracles it could bring. In the quiet moments that followed, Jake knew that this was only the beginning of a journey that would lead him to a deeper understanding of the divine. And as he embraced this path of faith, he invited others to reflect on their own beliefs, to seek the miracles present in their lives, and to open their hearts to the transformative power of grace. Before you go, tell us in the comments, where are you watching from and what time is it right now where you are? If Thunder's story of faith, humility, and unexpected transformation touched your heart, subscribe for more stories of miracles and hope.